August 5th, and welcome to another episode of Style by Stevie. We are joined by none other than the amazing, the handsome Bootsy Saunders. It is such a pleasure to have you here. I watch your videos, I share your videos, and my colleagues, we have a whole chain chat going on where we have your videos in rotation. Like we just caught to today when you were talking about, which we'll dive into in the conversation here on today. And we talked on the phone. And yeah, it's a lot of our people that are selling us out. So
Yes.
your videos, I came across your videos through Politics by Tabitha because I watch her a lot and I watch Coach D speaks as well. And I was like, okay, who is he? He's got something to say. And I clicked on your videos and I kept watching them. I'm subscribed to your channel and everything. And I'm like, okay, this is who I need to have on my platform. And I said that August or 2026 in general would be the year of collaborations. So it's such an honor to have you here. So how has this year been for you thus far?
First of all, I want to say thank you so much for having me on. It's been a great year for me. I opened up a new restaurant. I've been able to do a lot for the homeless this year. Partnered with Walmart to give school supplies out for my event coming up next week. So I'm grateful, happy to be alive, and I'm happy to be on your show.
And I'm happy to have you here. So thank you for all that you do outside of YouTube, using your voice as a place where most of us as Black creators, and I had Marcos Luis, host of One Mic Night podcast, on the show yesterday, and we were talking about the importance of amplifying our voices in a time like this where our rights are under attack. And they are literally turning back the clock on years, decades worth of work that our ancestors, our great grandmothers, great grandfathers, our great aunts, great uncles have fought for. And it's because of the man who is the color of the dress that I'm wearing, who was an occupant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, is an agent of chaos. We are at
Yes.
war with another country, which we should not be. They pose no threat to us. And according to his, what is this, National Intelligence Director, Tulsi Gabbard, Iran
Yes.
posed no threat. So let's dive right into the meat and potatoes because I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. And they'll go to you in your comments or they'll come to me like, Miss Stevie, what is going to be the next move? How do we recover from this? How do we bounce back from this? And that would be the first question. What have some of the messages been that people have been asking you? Because I know people just like, when is it all going to be over?
I deal with a lot of people who follow me. They don't like Trump, so I can see the hatred in the messages that they send me, and they're concerned about. Most of them are concerned about how they're gonna get ahead. How the United States is gonna benefit them. How's Trump gonna benefit them? Even though that they don't like Trump, they still root for Trump because he's the president to do something for the American people. But he's not doing anything for the American people. Nothing. He is stealing all our money. He got us in an illegal war. He got a podcast, whole administration who is incompetent. And these the people that are running our country. And they are running our country to the ground, literally to the ground. The war in Iraq should have never happened. Now we are losing the war in Iraq. And I'm not saying it because I don't support the soldiers. I love the soldiers. My family members went to war. They still in the Navy, the Army. But we are losing the war that that we can't get out. Trump cannot get out of this war. Iran has the straits closed before this whole war. The straits was never closed in the history of ever being closed. Now they have that advantage where they can close it anytime they want to now. And Trump keeps saying the war is over, the war is over, the war is over. And right now we're at a bad place at war. So my people follow me. They just want to just be able to have something for themselves, a better job, a better living, to make more money. But everything is about a ballroom and a reflected pool. And he's not doing anything.
We talked about that on the phone yesterday, and I also talked about that with Marcos Luis. Shout outs to Faith is the Substance. Shout outs to my girl. She says, "Salutations, welcome back, Bootsy." And you guys know Bootsy from basketball. You guys know him as an athlete, but he is now in the world of YouTube. So when he came on here, I did my research. Yes, I did my research. I'm like, he's not only cute, and he's only 5'6". So I'm like, okay, he can come over here and climb this tree because I'm 5'7". Okay.
I'm climbing. I can climb it.
But like I was saying, uh, this war with Iran, this war with Iran. He's saying that, oh, it's all peaches and cream. You got Marco Rubio out here saying that, we're going to get a deal. You got Scott Bessent saying we're getting a deal. We have no deal. There is no
Uh,
deal with Iran. Iran is not interested in anything that we're trying to say because this man has called for mass civilization on several occasions.
yes, yes, yes. He even bombed a school that killed over 300 children at the beginning of the war. And no president should want, especially a United States president, to say, "I'm gonna wipe out a whole civilization of people who have nothing to do with this war." He is losing his mind like never seen before. And people think that dementia done don't have dementia, but you can see it's creeping into his mind now. He can't get out of this war. And it's tough because we want our American soldiers to be led by somebody who has a brain to lead them in the right way. Pete Hegseth, I don't know what he's doing. Marco Rubio is a puppet, and none of the Republicans really standing up to Trump on this war with Iran. And it haven't even got worse yet because they talking about putting boots on the ground. That's the only way you're gonna open up their straits if we put boots on the ground. And the American people is not going for boots on the ground in Iran.
And 76%, as I stated on yesterday's show with Marcos Luis, 76% disagree with this war that he got us in. We should not be at war because Iran posed no threat to us. And shout outs to B. Walker. The war is never over, especially when you're battling within the mind. Donald Trump is an agent of chaos. He is dangerous and he is deranged. And I remember me and
Yes,
Boosie talked yesterday on the phone about this, how far this man is going to go. Now, Bootsy brought up the ballroom, the $400 million ballroom. Yesterday on yesterday's show, catch out the replay with Marcos Luis. I gave you guys the insight of what he's going to do because November 3rd is slowly creeping up. How do I know? Because
yes,
my birthday is on the 31st. I'll be 33. So when November 3rd gets here, and it's time for the elections to go around and that winner is called and it's not him, we know exactly what he's going to do. Connect the dots. Why does he need a ballroom? And I was like, oh, he said it right there. There we go. Bunker. What do authoritarian leaders always do? When it is their time to go, they know that their policies are not popular with people. They know that they're failing. Everything that they're doing is failing, is not going through. And right now, and I did a video talking about the rise and fall of the Roman Empire and
yes,
how authoritarianism takes over a nation and rules for decades. Look at Hitler in Germany. Look at Mussolini. Look at
yes,
Gaddafi. Look at Maduro. Maduro is not talked about enough. Maduro is the one that basically chopped off people's hands. He was an authoritarian leader as well too, but this was in another country. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the Congos, one of the two. But they will do any and everything by any means necessary to remain in power, even if that means going against the Constitution, because you saw what he did at the WHCD, the White House Correspondents' Dinner, where he got
yes,
up on stage and put a Trump 2028 hat on. That is against the Constitution. But see, he doesn't care about the Constitution. They're going to get the Constitution and they're going to rewrite it in his likeness and say, hey, we don't have to follow the rules. Obama got 2 terms. A president is supposed to have 2 consecutive terms, not 3, not 4, not 8, not 7, not 9. That would make you what? A monarch.
yes, yes. And you know what the Supreme Court did to help Donald Trump with this situation? They gave Donald Trump immunity. Donald Trump can't be prosecuted for anything. So I've been covering Donald Trump since 1997, since I was in college. I did a paper on Donald Trump. When Donald Trump know he can get away with things, he's just gonna keep doing it over and over again, and nobody's gonna be able to stop him. There's no punishment to Donald Trump to whatever he do. He could do whatever he wants, and he knows this. He knows this. And the Republicans, they don't have a backbone. The
They're
Democrats
terrible.
have no power. The Democrats have no power. Republicans have no backbone. So he's gonna shred that Constitution, y'all. When the midterms over, when they lose the House, when they lose the Senate, because they're gonna lose both. You're gonna really see a madman form into a like a dictatorship like Russia. You're gonna really see because he gonna shred that constitution. He's gonna shred. And that ballroom is for 2028. When he lose, he's gonna go in that ballroom, lock himself in that ballroom, and never come out again. That's what I think.
And see, here's the scary part. He has almost every branch of government. He fired three federal election commissioners. What do you think he's going to do? And I spoke about this yesterday with Marcos. What's going to happen is he is going to replace them with loyalists. And I can give you an example. The same way he fired Pam Bondi and replaced her with Todd Blanche, who has now been sworn in. And I was talking to Boosie about this yesterday. But guess who came out and said that they were against it? She's so concerned. If it's
Susan
not
Collins.
her, Susan Collins. If it's
Yes.
not Susan Collins that's so concerned, it's
Yeah.
Lisa Murkowski that's so concerned.
Yes. Yeah. It's always Susan Collins have been concerned for the last 20 years, especially with Donald Trump. She's always concerned, but after she's no concern no more, she votes right along party line. These people only want power, y'all. If people understand that, I understand the Democratic Party is not perfect. We have our left, we have our progressive, but we not like them. We are not like them. They only want power. I saw an article the other day that Republicans are gonna run on hate in the midterms. They're gonna run on hate in the midterm, not their policies or what they offer the American people. Is to get that base riled up to hate those transgenders, hate those illegal immigrants, hate those black folks. So they're gonna run on hate. And the sad part about it, people are gonna see these skyrocketing prices, and they still gonna go in their voting booth and vote for a Republican.
I asked Marcos this yesterday, Boosie. I said I don't understand how people could vote against their own interests, and it was 77 million, overwhelmingly white Americans, and a little bit of our own black people, just a little bit, a little piece,
Yeah, just a little
who
bit,
voted.
10%.
And now they're starting to feel the impacts of their vote. You're crying, you're begging, you're pleading for this man to stop. And yesterday's races in Michigan, I know a lot of people were just like, hey, they're pissed off about it. Republicans are pissed off about it. Please do make no mistake if you don't think that they're going to retaliate in some sort of way, because we saw what they did in Virginia, where people voted to, hey, redistricting the map because Republicans started doing that.
Yeah.
Gerrymandering, redistricting. When the people said, oh, you want to play those games? Let's play. What did they do in the Virginia Supreme Court? They threw out people's votes. So that's
Yeah.
how dirty, that's how low that they are willing to go. They don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
And as Boosie said, they are terrified. Don, they won't jump until Orange Piggy tells them to jump. That is my nickname for him here on my platform,
Orange,
Boosie.
orange piggy, orange piggy. We call him
Yes, because
orange face on my side. We call him the
yes,
orange face man.
you sound like
But you
my
know
brother
what though
Kid
about
Coops.
yeah. But you know what about what people need to realize? If they pass this Save Act, we all in trouble. Black, brown, white, poor, because they demanding so much for you to go to the voting booth. They want if you was a woman, you're gonna need your birth certificate. If you married from 40, 50 years ago, I don't even know what my birth certificate is. You're gonna need so much paperwork to register to vote, and that's gonna disenfranchise not only black voters, but a lot of those poor white people who stay in those rural areas. But they don't see that. They only want to disenfranchise black and brown people because they know they have no policies to help us. It's all about APAC, Israel. and mega. That's all they care about. So y'all be woke on this save act, cause they pass this, y'all. We might not never be able to have control again with this if they pass the save.
Remember the days when we had to pay poll tax? Remember the days when we had to take literacy tests? That's what the SAVE Act would do. That's why he was so hell bent. Remember, he refused to sign a bill negotiating housing affordability until the SAVE Act was passed.
Right,
Boosie just said the
right.
same thing that I said yesterday, and I'm a woman. So what would happen is that would take away my right to vote. It's not just about black people, but it would take away a woman's right to vote. I've never been married, but they're going to want you, if you are a married woman, they're going to want you to go by, hey, if it doesn't match up on your ID or anything like that, they're not going to let you vote. So these are the shenanigans and tricks that they're up to make it difficult for people to vote. And I'm in South Carolina. So we know how it is down here with them. They tried to get Jim Clyburn out of their seat. They're trying to remove him out of his seat. Ralph Norman and all the
Yeah.
other Republicans. Lindsey Graham just passed away, who was no help. He was a Donald Trump loyalist. So,
Yes, yes,
with
yes,
that being
yes.
said, we already know when it's a deep red state like that, white people in my state will continue to vote against their difference. And I think their own interest. And I think that I'm the only black voice down here in the Carolinas. Well, it's more that is speaking out, being vocal at this level, at this point right here, collaborating with other collaborators. And that
Yes,
will,
yes,
but the SAVE Act, what that would do, it would disenfranchise black voters. They've been doing that to us for years. Remember
yes,
those days?
yes.
It's a scene in Selma. Do y'all remember the scene in Selma where Oprah, she played Anna Lee Cooper? And she went to the polls, and the gentleman said, can you read these first lines right here? Not everybody is reading at a college grade level, they're reading at a fifth grade reading level. So they know that people don't understand, and this is why we have to educate our people. The Roland Martins of the world, the Marcos Luises, the Bubs the Gods of the world, the Bootsy Saunders, the Politics by Tabitha, the Danielle Moody's, the Coach D Speaks, Midas Touch Networks. I'm naming all black creators. Skino 216, I think is his name.
Yeah. Yeah,
Scaino. Shout outs to him.
yeah, yes,
The
yeah,
most,
yes, yes, yes.
so Boosie
Willie
knows
D.
them all.
Willie D.
Yes,
Yeah, Willie D. And it's I'm starting a program next year for 15, 16, 17, 18 year olds to teach them about becoming a representative because we not teaching our kids to get this kind of power. We teach our kids to become basketball player athletes, which I understand. But we're gonna run a program, run for office, become an elected echo chamber. But we're gonna start a program next year where we're gonna finish and and all the other powers and stuff. So we're trying to bring something different to our neighborhood to get them to get involved into politics. Well, because they're the next generation.
absolutely, absolutely, and not just that, but a lot of people will say, I'm not into politics. Well, guess what? Politics is into you. Now is the time more than ever to get yourself involved and understand what you're dealing with this November because this is serious. This man is talking about running
Yes,
a fourth term. He pulled out the merch, which is illegal. You're not supposed to use the White House for that. But obviously, he's using the White House to throw fights on the White House lawn. He's using it to welcome the men's hockey team, to bring McDonald's in. He's doing all of these things. And guess who's footing the bill? Us. 60
taxpayers,
million, what
taxpayers,
was it? $60
taxpayers.
million dollars went to that monstrosity on the White House lawn. that UFC fight. This year
Yes,
alone,
yes,
ICE,
yes.
ICE is still out here. 1.7 billion will go to ICE and will continue to go to them by 2027. And this year alone, they arrested more than 46,000 people in July, setting a new record. ICE, we don't need them. You're doing nothing but breaking apart families. People are dying in these concentration camps because they're not ICE facilities. I call them concentration camps. They are governing just like Adolf Hitler. And it's not so much as Donald Trump, it is the people that are behind him as well, too. Let's not forget the shadow presidents. You have Stephen Miller.
Yes.
I call him Squidward from
Yeah.
SpongeBob, Lucy, because he resembles him very well. And the one that is over OMB, Office Management Budget, and that is Russ Voigt. Russ Voigt looks like Hanson from Scary Movie 2. And you guys remember the scene where he's taking his hand and stirring the mashed potatoes. That would be Hanson. That's Russ Voigt. Those are the shadow presidents behind Donald Trump. Those are the people who are calling the shots, telling him what to do. And you see Stephen Miller get up on CNN and so many of these news platforms. You don't hardly ever see him outside because he knows exactly what would happen to him if he goes outside. Another Charlie Kirk situation. You heard about the guy that's from Scary Movie 2 that he's in Scary. Oh, yes, he is. He sure is. And what's the guy's name? Was it? Yeah, sure is. Here we go. Yes, yes. That's what I call him. Those are the
Eh,
people that are
yeah.
behind him. Let's not forget Kevin Roberts was bragging about Donald Trump using Project 2025 that he so gratefully disavowed that he knew nothing about. But if you go and look back, thank God for TikTok. TikTok pulls up a video of him speaking at a Heritage Foundation event.
Everybody when I was it was 2024 election. I told them everything what Donald Trump was gonna do. And Donald Trump had his handprint all over. And I was telling all the black people, this man do not care about you. It's just propaganda. Propaganda. They attacked me because I guess they got a stimmy check back in 2019, 2020. They thought they was gonna get stimmy checks. They thought they were gonna get this big no tax on overtime. They thought he was only gonna deport the illegals. They barely even deported any illegals. They deported illegal citizens and sending them to this camp. And I told them what was gonna happen. They attacked me for that. And now we are dealing with this madman. And we haven't seen nothing yet, y'all. I'm telling y'all, once he lose the midterm, everything is gonna be executive action. That's how he's gonna govern us. So wake up, y'all. Gotta wake up, get out and vote. Gotta get out and vote. We have
And
to.
to add on to what Bootsy said, remember during 2020 when he lost that race, what did he do? He filed so many executive orders. There was lawsuits that were filed as well too. He did all of these things. There was a recount. They recounted 3 times. You still lost. He is not going to accept defeat. What he's going to do is he's going to start another January 6th part 2. This is the beginning stages of what a coup looks like when you can
Yes.
question election integrity, which is what they're already starting to do. And Politics by Tabitha spoke about it. I spoke about it as well too. And my brother Demario King Jives, who's in Florida, also spoke about what would happen. They're already sowing doubt. Why do you think when he got in office, and me and Boosie spoke about this yesterday also on the phone, he pardoned 1,600 insurrectionists. Some of these insurrectionists, they're in the military with Keg's breath. I don't call him Heg's breath. I call him
Yeah.
Keg's breath. He
That's
can't put that
right.
Bible down for some reason.
Mhm. You're right. You're right. Think about it. Barack Obama would have came in and pardoned 1,600 black felonies. They would have got Barack Obama out of office in 4 days. He wouldn't even have 4 weeks. If Barack Obama would came into office and pardoned 1,600 black felons, he would have been out of office in 4 days. But Trump knows now that he brought up that little $1.77 billion fund he gonna get to him. He say he's gonna give them the money. January 6th is gonna get paid for storming the Capitol and tearing it up, and he's gonna pay them with our taxpayer money, $1.7 billion. So it's no end to this guy, y'all. It's no end to this guy, y'all. And we still got 2.5 more years. It feels like he's been around for 30, 40 years as president. And we got 2.5 more years of Donald Trump. And I just hope as a whole that we all could come together and put our small differences to the side to defeat these people. I really do believe that we need to come together.
Absolutely. And not only just that, but giving our hard earned tax-paying dollars to insurrectionists who stormed the Capitol on January 6th. But guess what else? And this is from Here's Why, Kevin. Social Security benefits set will be cut by 25% as a result of remember the big ugly bill, because there's nothing beautiful about it. And this will
Okay.
be in the year of 2032. So you're taking food out and basically next month's rent or mortgage out of your grandmother or grandfather's money. That's what you just voted for. So congratulations, MAGA. But let's talk about the Black Trump supporters, because Boosie, you dropped two new videos, and I shared them with my colleague Deshaun, who's in the comments, and with my group of colleagues as well too. And they're watching and they love your commentary. But these Black Trump supporters, to go back to what Boosie just said about them, oh, I voted for Trump because he gave me that check. Lies. Donald Trump wanted his name on the back of those checks. He's an egomaniac. He
Yes.
refused to give the checks out unless they had his name on the back of them. It was Congress and Nancy Pelosi them who made sure that you got your money during a pandemic that he downplayed, and hundreds of millions of people worldwide died as a result of his fecklessness and his recklessness. We have a
Yes.
whole
Yes.
goddamn Ebola outbreak in another country. We have an explosive diarrhea outbreak here in the United States.
Right
We
now.
can't eat
Right now.
lettuce. RFK Jr. is in charge of our health care. And I said this yesterday on the show. When are we great? Are we great yet? Measles outbreak.
We'll never be great.
We
Yeah.
still got
We'll never
this
be great.
Miss 19. We're on YouTube, so I have the talking cold. Bootsy knows Miss 19 is still out here. And yes, I still wear my mask. And for the record, I'm
Yes.
not ICE as well, too. I could never sell my people out. And I'm seeing a lot of our people work with them and say, well, my pocket's getting fatter. Guess what? When accountability rolls around and the Nuremberg trials come, you will be held accountable and your punishment is going to be just as harsh. Them, because they have the complexion for the protection, what's going to happen is they're going to get a pat on the wrist.
Yes. Yes. And Black Trump supporters, they think they not black. They think if they get pulled over by a white police officer, they gonna get treated different. They think if they go into a store, they not gonna get racial profile. I mean, I deal with these Black Trump supporters all the time, and they always tell me why you don't like Trump, and I always ask me why do you like Trump? Give me one policy. Yesterday I was in Target. A guy came up to me, noticed who I was, say why I don't like Trump. I asked him, why do you like Trump? Give me one policy and I'll give you $50. You can go to Google and everything. He couldn't give me policy that Donald Trump has put in place to help his life. Me, I don't give the road. I hate to say this, but they are to me
Okay, I think we lost Bootsy. Okay, he's back. Yes, black Trump supporters. We, as Bootsy just said, and I said this yesterday, if you are a detriment to the black collective, that means the Officer Tatum's who can't identify as black or find it in his heart to identify as black, Candace Owens, Byron Donalds, Wesley Hunt, who seems to think that Jim Crow went away. But if you look at what we discussed earlier, the SAVE Act is basically that. Project 2025 is Jim Crow because you're rolling back policies, turning back the clock on policies that people have fought long and hard for, which is equality, which is not just equality, marriage equality for queer people and the community, but black people. Policies that help black people, policies that help the middle class. We're not in that 1% tax bracket with an Elon Musk, who, by the way, is a
Right.
trillionaire. We're not in that bracket with Jeff Bezos. We're not in that tax bracket with Mark Zuckerberg. We're not in that tax bracket with Peter Thiel.
Right.
So to the
Right.
black Trump supporters out here that are still shucking and jiving, and it's one in particular, bald. I don't know his name. He was on CNN, and Isaiah R. Martin and him were going back and forth, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
how could you go?
Yeah.
It's another as well too. I can't remember his name, but Shermichael Singleton, that's his name.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure, Michaels.
I I don't understand how even from my city of South Carolina, Tim Scott, who's out here shucking and jiving, saying, "I love this guy." What's to love about him? That is a good question. What makes Donald Trump such a good guy? Let's go down a list of things that make him a good guy. Let's see. Verifying people on both sides. That sound like a good guy to you?
It's
Is
they
he
don't.
black? Is he
Yeah.
turned
Yeah.
black? Does that
Yeah.
sound like
Yes.
a good guy?
Yeah.
Where is
Yeah.
he from and is he an American citizen? Is that a good guy? Taking out a 5-page newspaper spread calling for bringing back the death penalty on 5 black and Latino men. Does that sound like a good guy?
Okay. Okay. A guy who cheated on all his wives. A guy who
Look
defrauded
at
New
him
York and Manhattan on
with
his
the porn
properties.
star,
You know. You know.
stealing
He.
from cancer
Yeah.
charities.
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell clocked your tea. She told us what it was about you, and you threatened to deport her because she's speaking truth to power. Y'all get in Boopsy's DMs, but y'all ain't yet got in my DMs. Y'all will say something to me in the comments, and then there will be other people lighting y'all's ass up like she's
Mm-hmm.
right. Y'all know she's right because I say, how about affordable care? How about some health care in this country? Because by the end of this year, my colleague Conscious TV predicted your healthcare subsidies, your premiums are going to skyrocket. See, that's why you had the Affordable Care Act that Republicans refused to negotiate on. But see, according to Poindexter Mike Johnson, Grinder Mike Johnson, if he's not
Grinder
scrolling
Johnson. Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
fog
Yeah.
in his glasses because he's enjoying himself, he says we has volumes of ideas. What did Donald
Yeah.
Trump say when he was asked about health care? What are you going to do to replace the ACA, the Affordable Care Act? What are you going to do to replace that? I've got concepts of plans.
Yeah.
Bootsy, I've got tons of dresses. I've got concepts of what I want to look like each
Yeah.
day.
Each day.
That's a
Each day. We
concept.
all do. We all do. And come and see. And Kamala Harris had concrete plans for the American people. But racism right now in America, they're gonna always vote for racism. Kamala Harris could have gave each voter $1 million. Each white voter $1 million. They still wouldn't have voted for Kamala Harris because she's a black person. And with Donald Trump is the greatest con man of all time. He's able to sell his base all kind of merch. He's able to lie to his base every day, and they believe every word he says. I don't even debate them. I love Isaiah Martin. I love him, but you're not gonna convince the Trump support. It's not gonna happen because they live in an alternate reality. So you could debate them all day and give them all the facts. They in a cult. It's a cult. And when the cult ends is when the dear leader is gone. Because JD Vance, he'll never be Donald Trump. He don't have that, that. You know what I'm saying? So when Trump is gone, that's when Mega is gone to me.
Trumpism. That's what it is. And yes, exactly, Deshaun. And I said this yesterday, not to be politically incorrect, but they saw tits and they saw melanin. They
Yep.
saw a woman. They saw a black woman. America for 250 years has never elected a woman. Shirley Chisholm never got the opportunity. She ran, but she didn't win.
Yep.
Stacey Abrams ran, but she didn't win. Jasmine Crockett ran, but she didn't win. And it's because America is fearful of black women and our power, our strength, our intelligence. Women in general, even y'all couldn't even vote for a woman that was one of y'all on Hillary Clinton. You couldn't vote for a white woman. Why? Because she is a woman. Key word. Y'all don't want women to run. Yes, there is a woman president in Mexico. It sure is. There's a
Yep.
woman president in Mexico, and Donald Trump has been causing havoc. And any other country that posed no threat, that was actually trading and doing deals with us, he's messed that up.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
negotiations that Obama did, he messed that up.
Yeah. He
So
hate
this
Obama.
war with Iran, there's no
Yeah.
telling when this is going to be over. As Bootsy stated earlier, it's going to wind up them having to go boots on the ground because of something that he started that should have never been.
Get out. Come on. And just declare that you want. We okay with that because prices are gonna go down. We worried about prices. We don't want this war to continue because the prices are gonna stay high. Inflation is gonna rise again. You go in the grocery store, meat is gonna be super high. We just want him to end the war and come on. Just say you want, because lies say you want, and we'll take that. But he got an ego that every morning is something different with this guy. The war over with. We got a deal. We don't. We're gonna bomb them. We not. It's something different every day. I don't even know who to believe, them or us. I don't know. I'm at a point right now. I never thought I would have to believe Iran to get the news over American president like Donald Trump because I know he lies so much. I know that. I've been following him for years. I know that he lied for fun. So I don't know who to even believe now. I never over United States. I just never thought that. But the man lied so much. So I just got to I just got to see what happened. I just tired of him.
We
I
all
just I just
tied up
want
with
him to
Boosie,
get in peace.
and not just that, but the Black Trump supporters. You guys are getting up in Boosie's DMs. Y'all are not just doing it to him. You do it to Politics by Tabitha. And I've had my arguments with them in the comments. They'll get in, and I'll say, Kamala will do a post, and I'll go up under there like, "Wow, what we could have had. She's so beautiful. She's so intelligent." And I have a picture of her on my wall over here. I'm like, I'm never taking that down because I'm not giving up. America is going to get a woman as president. And I voted for her. I'm a
Yes.
part of the 92% that voted for her. And I will say this, until we deal with the issue of sexism and patriarchy, we're going to be stuck right here. America and Lyndon B. Johnson, and I think Bootsy said this on his channel, as well as Tennessee Brando and Paul Lance for
Yeah.
Equality. They said a quote from Lyndon B. Johnson, and they said that America will vote for the lowest white man. What do you think that Donald Trump is? He is the lowest white man. And as Bootsy just said about the cult, and I said that I'm going to do something possibly tomorrow morning breaking down how cults work, mainly
Yes.
Jim Jones. If you've seen Jonestown Massacre, we saw how that ended up as a result of that, them following their dear leader. And it's not going to go till he's gone away. Now, in the comments, Sean saying that JD Vance is a secret agent. I told you what he was put there for, and that is because he is a project for Peter Thiel. Donald Trump was given an ultimatum. If you accept him as your vice president, or we're not funding you. See, Donald Trump has big corporate donors, and the biggest
Yes.
one opened his pocketbook. And my theory is this, and it will remain true because a lot of people are like, you might be onto something. Elon Musk dabbled in this election because if you go back, the Super Bowl also went on that same year.
Yeah.
Why was there Starlink commercials popping up? And Elon Musk saying, I've got this new technology, this, that, and the third. You took a chainsaw to Jobs.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all adding up now.
Yeah.
You
It's
used
all
your wealth, your influence, not only in the United States here, but you're also doing it in other countries as well too. He dabbled in this election here, and that is election tampering. That's illegal. Now you have, what's his name? And I can't even remember his name. I know he's a white supremacist as well too. He says we're going to have ICE agents placed at the polls.
Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon.
See that?
Steve Bannon. Yeah, yeah. They are. See, people don't know they are 80% into the Project 25. That's already been implemented. 80%. Now we at the last 20%. This is the final chapter of the dictatorship taking form. Once you have people not vote, they want to take away our rights, take away our votes, steal all our money, raise everything up high. Now we're gonna be in dictatorship mode. And I get a lot of comments from blacks that voted for Trump, and now I'm starting to get a lot of comments from Mexicans and Latinos who voted for Trump who regretting their vote. They sending me messages. They regretting their vote now because their neighborhoods are being torn apart in shambles, and they upset. And he'll never get the Mexican vote again. He'll never get the Mexican vote again. They lost the Mexican vote because they had made inroads with them. They had built year after year with the Mexicans and Latinos. But what ICE has did to that community, the Latinos and the Mexicans have came back over to the Democratic Party, and that's how we're gonna get rid of all love. I mean all love in the midterm. I was watching last night on MSNBC with Steve Cornett, a black Trump supporter lost to a person yesterday who didn't even have a profile picture, who
Amir,
dropped out the race in May. Them white people say, I don't care what's going on. Who in the race? I'm not voting for no black man. And they went in there and voted for a person who dropped out the race months ago because they say, I'm not voting for this black man. And Amir Hassan, guess what? He found out last night that he one of us. He found out the hard way. And he lost a race where he didn't even have a challenger. And they voted for a no profile picture guy. Just sad.
and guess what? Who else got their wake up call? Vivek Ramaswamy, the one who was talking cash shit about black people. Ann Coulter reminded you real quick. She said, I didn't vote for you because you're an Indian. That is a key telltale sign right there. Their racism is out loud. And what Orange Piggy does is he emboldens them to go out here to say the things that he can't say to us to our face. I mean, if we were to see him today, I mean, I'd still be roasting him. And I told him this. I said, I'm not letting my size 11 stiletto off of your neck. Every
Glad you
chance
laughing
I
hard.
see you go live. Every chance I see you do a press briefing, I'm going to be roasting you here on my little old platform. You have to stand up to fascists. You cannot cower in fear. As much as they try to intimidate, go after journalists, say we're going to jail journalists. This year alone, they locked up Don Lemon. That wasn't something that we was expecting on our bingo card, was for him to go after journalists.
Yeah, Jonathan, Don Lemon, all he was doing was reporting the news. All Don Lemon was doing was reporting the news. But they know they can't charge him. He won't go to jail. They just want to show that they had the power. And if anybody go against the Trump administration, they're gonna lock him up. I get a lot of messages from Mega saying, I'm gonna tell Trump about your channel, and I'm gonna get your channel taken down. You're gonna go to jail. Do it there. I'm not sponsored by nobody. I take no money from nobody. I get no money from nobody. So I have nobody to answer to when I speak to my phone. It's just me and facts. So we going into a direction where they're gonna own everything. They're gonna own everything. All the news stations, all the radio stations, all the factories. They're gonna own everything, and they're gonna make sure that we're gonna be out here fighting for peanuts. And that's their goal. They don't care about the American people at all, y'all. So get out this midterm, and please, we have to vote them out if we got any chance of getting Donald Trump just control a little bit of his power, anything.
Because Republicans are terrified. And I already told, and me and Boosie were talking about this on the phone as well too. It was a Bush appointed judge.
Yeah.
They literally sent pizzas to his home as a way to say, I know where you are. And these are Trump supporters are doing this. They are just as dangerous as he is. There was no way they were going to vote for Amir Hassan or Byron Donalds in Florida. They are going to vote for someone who is just as violent and racist as they are. And that means somebody like as Deshaun said in the comments, somebody like Greg Abbott, who Donald Trump
Yeah.
endorsed. And his fixation is on trans people. You're worried about less than 1% of the population. Trans people are not the reason why your gas prices are going up. LGBT people or black people are not the reason why your gas prices are going up. Immigrants who are actually doing the jobs who did not vote for Donald Trump
You right.
doing the jobs that you won't do. Farmers, overwhelmingly, y'all voted for Donald Trump. How is your harvest now? And Deshaun already knows what I'm going to say. How do those eggs taste now for you, bitch? How do those eggs taste now for you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They get nothing. They have nothing. When this email with the that to the side. The next year, I put it to the side. Next time, I just pay all of it at once. Paying state taxes till Donald Trump is gone.
Oh, absolutely, Deshaun. Absolutely. Yes, it's some within the LGBTQ community that have voted against their own interests, like an Xavier, like an Amir Odom, like a Rob Smith online, and they literally called you the N word and the F word to your
Yeah.
face, and you're still out here shucking and jiving for them. They will hang on to that Trump train. They don't care if the world is burning. But see, my thing is this, and y'all know I am a proud revolutionary. We know exactly what Harriet Tubman would do with individuals who voted against their own interests, who are a detriment to their people, like a Byron Donalds, like a Wesley Hunt, like a Candace Owens, like an Officer Tatum. We know exactly what Harriet would do. That I can't say here on YouTube, but use
I
your
know though.
imagination and
Yes, I know.
she knows.
Even
Y'all know.
Stephen A. Smith, even Stephen A. Smith is starting to jump
Yeah.
on that train with the Byron and all those and the. It just I don't understand black Trump supporters. I tried to understand them. I tried to talk to them. I done lost friends. I lost the best friend because I told him if he vote for Kamala Harris, I will not be friends with you no more. He voted for Donald Trump, and I haven't talked to him in 2 years, and I'm not planning on talking to him no more because it ain't about me. It's about people. It's about the poor. It's about the people that's trying to get ahead in life. Those are the ones who I speak for. But we hanging out. You know I'm a Kamala Harris fan. You know that I'm pushing policies, and you my friend every day, and you go vote for Donald Trump. I had to cut him off, and he still try to text me here and there. I don't even answer no more because I don't answer to Black Trump supporters no more. I stay out their way. They can't work my events no more. I just literally, they are invincible to me right now at this day and age.
And when you come on and you share your stories, that's what I look forward to because I'm like, how do you deal with someone who voted against Deshaun? That's why I'm in Instagram jail right now because of what I said about Megyn Kelly. Now, as y'all know that Miss Stevie, I love Beyonce Bootsy. I'm a Beyonce stan over here. I love Beyonce.
Beyonce. Hmm.
Um, when Miss Megyn Kelly opened her mouth and spoke on the First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, who is a woman who is well educated, beautiful, classy, intelligent, when Megyn Kelly opened her mouth and said something about three powerful, prominent black women, that's Beyonce, Jasmine Crockett, and Michelle Obama, when she spoke on them, I put something in my story and I used some colorful language and I said, fuck this bitch can go
Hmm.
fuck herself. And Instagram saw that and they said, whoop, we're
Took
going
it
to
down.
place you in jail for 180 days. You can't go live anymore. So that's why I've been doing my shows on YouTube. And as
Yeah,
far as Erica Kirk is concerned, fuck that bitch as well, too. And I'm
yeah,
going to
I
tell you
agree.
why. Because she is a white Christian. Erica Kirk is the perfect example of a perfectly packaged white supremacist in a gift box,
Yes,
modeled as a widow of a white supremacist as well, too, who says that black women don't have the brain processing power.
yeah.
Who also said that, well, if the pilot is black, I'm going to want another pilot. Let's not forget the things that this college dropout, who's placed on the Department of Education, by the way, as well, too, courtesy of Linda McMahon,
Hmm.
said about
Let me
black
know.
people. They love to go after black people, calling us dumb. What is his first insult? Orange Piggy. Low IQ. What did he
Low
say about
IQ.
Maxine Waters? What did he say about President Obama? What did he say about Jasmine Crockett? I want her to take an IQ test. What
Yeah,
else did he say? What did he say about Don Lemon? What did he say about LeBron James? It's always Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who
yeah,
I think a lot of people forgot about as well too. What did he say about her? Any black person who is prominent, intelligent. What is the first thing that these white supremacists go for? That is our intelligence.
yeah,
They
yeah,
fear
yeah.
our power because during slavery, y'all know it was forbidden. You couldn't learn how to read or write.
At
Now that
all.
we have the knowledge, and they say the most dangerous weapons you can put is something in a book. And black people, we have the knowledge, and we pick up those books and we read those books and we educate the masses. It's dangerous. So it's like, oh no, you're learning too much. You're doing too much, which is why they go after Jasmine Crockett because she knows her shit. Which is
Yeah,
why they go after Stacey Abrams. She knows her shit, which is
yes,
why they go after Tish James. She knows her shit, which is why they go after President Obama. He knows his shit, which is why they go after Isaiah Martin. He knows his shit, which is
yeah.
why they go after the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, because he knows
Westmore.
his shit. And he's a decorated veteran as well, too. Donald, can you say that with your bone spurs? I bet your kinkles couldn't fit in a pair of boots, honey. Let's see you going ahead and try to run the trails.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the is he don't have an education. He can't put together a full thought. Look at his interviews. He can't put together a coherent sentence on anything. He doesn't know anything about anything. All he know is that's low IQ. I'm the greatest.
Person,
It's
woman,
everything.
camera,
Yeah,
share.
yeah,
That's all you
yeah.
got, and you can't even pronounce the fucking name to Tylenol. Please get out of my face, wig, because you're comb over. I'm sick of seeing that comb over. I'm sick of seeing you at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The same way with Boosie, I second that notion, but we have to stay alert and vigilant to what's going on. Let me exercise. I'm listening to this. Oh, you're talking about Drewski. Erica Kirk was triggered because what Drewski did when he portrayed her was he turned a mirror on white conservative women and exactly how they think, exactly how they vote. They vote the way that their husbands tell them to vote. Now, when the 2024 election happened, there was a whole campaign out here telling white women, your husband does not have to know your vote.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
She
I
got
remember
Jeffrey
that.
Dahmer
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Fox News saying if my wife voted the way this, oh, didn't vote the way that I tell her to vote, then that would be a divorce. Well, divorce me now, motherfucker, because I'm not gonna vote the way you want me to vote.
yeah. But it all comes down to racism. It don't matter if Kamala Harris was the greatest thing since sliced bread. She was a black woman. And I tell my friends all the time. I say black women should be running everything in this country right now because 90% of black women, they was right about Donald Trump, what's gonna happen. 84% of black men, we was right about what was gonna happen with Donald Trump. We should be the one, especially black women, should be running this country because black women are the most qualified people on this planet. But as long as you got racism, it's gonna be hard for a black woman at this time. It's gonna be hard for a
And
black man.
sexism,
Yeah,
patriarchy
it's
is
sexist.
still
Yes,
here.
yes, it's still here and it's out in the open now. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen all these Bob the Builder? They run up to black people, call them the N word. You got this one white
Oh,
guy.
Chud.
You know what
Oh,
I'm
you
saying?
talking about Chud?
Yeah,
Well,
Chud the
well, his
Chud.
name
Yeah,
won't be Chud. His name ain't Chud no more now that where he's at, wherever he's at. You gonna need that $1,000 to get out, Chud. Or is it 1.4? Correct me if I'm wrong, Deshaun. Y'all know how much he owes. He's got to pay, and your little buddy Jake Lang is out here taking the place of you. And the
yeah,
Unfuck America podcast, we don't need to be sitting with white supremacists, welcoming them, smiling with them, greeting them.
yeah. And I don't get it. And that's what I don't get about black Trump supporters. Y'all don't see these white people the way they acting. Y'all don't see this. This the side y'all chose to be on at this moment of time. Okay, you don't like all the Democratic policies. Okay, I'm fine with not liking policies. But you tell me you're gonna be on the side with Proud Boys. You're gonna be on the side with people who are walking around literally calling us the N word and doing these pranks and coming to our rallies. This the side you really want to be on, and I just do not understand. I tried, and I'm done trying to understand. So I'm gonna talk to the people who I think I can reach, who I think I can get out the vote, who I think that understands what needs to be done to get Donald Trump and his administration out. Because I'm done. I'm done trying to talk to these black Trump supporters. It's going through one ear, and it's coming right out the other. That's all.
Some of those Democrats went on the Republican side. Oh, don't get me started on Fetterman. Fetterman is a perfect example, Deshaun. A lot of people need to get a hold of Campbell for ignoring the signs as well too. And some of the Democrats are also traitors as well too. 8 of them was going on to yeah, a lot of them are voting along with Republicans. We don't need to be reaching across the aisle to them because they're not interested in reaching across the aisle. And even to Boosie's point with Isaiah R. Martin, it's a waste of breath and energy. It's like talking to a brick wall.
A brick
They're
wall.
not going to listen to you. They're going to continue to support him. And if you look at his rallies, they're going to be packed. People are going to continue to support this man and think that he is the best thing since sliced bread. And who's
Right.
that woman, Grace Strand? You're talking about Tulsi Gabbard, who
Yeah.
was the National Intelligence Director, who also warned that Iran posed no threat, by the way.
Mhm.
She said that Iran posed no threat. I don't agree with her on anything with her joining this regime to be a part of them. But I do agree with her saying this here, which is Iran posed no imminent threat to us. Now they also have their nuclear as well too. So what's going to happen if we run out of the M word munition? If we run out of
Mhm.
munition, what's going to happen to our troops? Like Bootsy said earlier, it's going to put us in a dangerous situations. Our troops are going to get hurt as a result of that. 18 troops have lost their lives as a result of this war that Donald Trump has caused.
Yeah. And then it's 18, but on his website, they have 14 troops because Trump administration said 4 of the soldiers died during the peace agreement or something like that. That them 4 don't count. So they took them 4 off their website, and now they claim it is only 14 soldiers killed in war, when it really is 18 and hundreds injured. And he don't have a plan out of this mess. He's not smart
Oh
enough.
no, he got a remember Bootsy, he got a concept of a plan.
Oh yeah, he got
You got a
concept of a
concept?
plan. Yeah, yeah. Remember the war was over with. What 2 months ago? They obliterated everything. They have no
The
army,
president
no
of
air force.
peace.
They have no army. They have no air force. They have nothing, but yet they still control the straits. If the war is over, why is we still bombing them? That's what I'm saying. Trump is just he's delusional. He's delusional, and
He's
Trump got to
terrified.
go.
He's even having to the mural, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it, and you're
Yeah,
going
I
to do a
saw it.
video about it. And everyone's talking about the mural. So he's
Yeah,
terrified. He knows that Iran is on his ass. They want payback. And I was talking to my girlfriend earlier about this. She said, "Do you know there was an attempt? Somebody at the court tried to get him." I'm like, "How many attempts?" I mean, of course, it's going to be a lot of attempts. And
yeah,
now he's having to go and hire more security. He's going to have to hire more security because he's at risk. He's at
yeah.
fear of his life. He's already talking about his death.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's already saying he had left a letter or something. I heard to JD Vance left him a letter if he died, if Iran assassinate him or something. He left a little letter or something. And he don't know if he going to heaven or hell. You know what you did in your life. Trump know what he did throughout his life. He don't even go to church. Can you believe a man who don't go to church was able to sell his base some Bibles? 59.99 for some gold Trump Bibles. That tell you everything you need to know about Trump supporters right there.
A wolf in sheep's clothing, and they voted for it. It's no He's no different than a snake oil salesman. And Deshaun brought up JD Vance. JD Vance is much nefarious and dangerous as Donald Trump. He's
Yeah,
a younger version of him.
yeah,
And not just that, but if you go back and I'm pretty sure you know it, Boosie, where he did the debate with Tim Walz. What was the question that Tim Walz asked him, y'all? What did Tim Walz ask him? Did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election? We know he lost. The
yeah,
answer should have been yes, he
yeah,
lost the 2020
yeah,
election. Not pivoting as they do on CNN. Scott Jennings does it, and you've got the young lady Lydia that does it on
yeah,
CNN
Lydia,
as well.
yeah, Lydia,
Uh,
Lydia.
they'll get up there and they'll say, I'm worried about the future. Even in the hearings, you see it, them asked, did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election before they're getting sworn in? They will dance around the question. I just answered your question. No, you didn't answer our question. What you said was some bullshit because
Yeah,
we know the answer to it. Joseph R. Biden won the 2020 election, and Donald John Trump lost. Orange Piggy lost. It's hard for him to accept defeat. And his niece, Mary Trump, who everybody needs to be going to for answers because she knows this, this is her
yes,
uncle. She
yeah,
knows how dangerous and how far he's going to go. Bootsy here knows how dangerous Donald Trump is and how far he's willing to go. So if you think that he is going to leave peacefully and just like that, like any other president who's lost, is just going on about their way, no, he is not going to leave peacefully. It is going to have to take people literally having to put their bodies on the line. Not black people. We're not sacrificing a damn thing for that. Y'all voted for this mess. You made the mess, you clean it up. And now y'all are begging for this man to stop. Y'all are pulling your Trump stickers off of your cars because you're seeing the gas prices. I went to Denmark, South Carolina, where Bakari Sellers, Dr. Cleveland Sellers, if you guys know Voorhees University, is. And I drove past one of my third grade teachers' farms. Guess what was in the yard? It was a Trump 2024 sign. Drove past a few days later. The sign was gone. Why
gone.
the change of heart now? Why the change of heart now? Are your harvests great for you? How are
It's
your
not.
eggs great for you?
It's
Is
not.
your crops great? Are you doing well? And as
Eh,
far as that, you got to go where the money is greater. Yes, Deshaun, the only people who are benefiting from this is the 1%. And
That's
that is
it.
the Elon Musk, the Jeff
Yeah,
Bezos,
yeah,
the Mark Zuckerbergs,
yeah,
the Peter Thiels.
yeah.
What's his name over there in Argentina? They're benefiting from this.
Yes,
And
yes,
Bibi
yes.
Netanyahu. Don't forget about Netanyahu because this war is costing us, what is it, 430 billion a day.
Yeah,
Isaiah R. Martin spoke about that. It's
I
costing
saw it.
us money.
Yeah, a lot of money too. It costs a lot of money, and See, what Trump and them is doing, what people don't really see, what I see, that he giving all our money to his people, the contractors to build this, restore this.
Giving
These are
them
contracts
government
that
money.
just they giving to him. They's taking all our money. We ain't gonna have nothing left when he gone. He ain't leaving. He is not leaving, y'all. I'm telling you, he's not leaving. Only way he gonna leave is in the body bag. I hate to say it. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully we don't have to go through this for 2.5 more years with him. But Trump is just getting started. I'm telling you, once he lose the midterms, he gonna realize he have no more power in the Senate, no more power in the House. Everything is gonna be executive orders, and can nobody stop him. He have immunity on everything. He don't even have to pay taxes no more. Can you believe that? Him and his kids have immunity on paying taxes because Todd Blanche and the IRS and the Justice Department to deal with him so he don't have to get charged for not paying back taxes or future taxes. How is that America? Tell me how is that America?
You mean Clarence Thomas with his big gap toothed ass, Deshaun? Is that who you're talking about? The same one who, I can't say that word here, but I'll just say two words: Anita Hill. Clarence, we have not forgot Anita Hill. You are,
Y-
in fact, the true definition of DEI. What you think they just
Yeah,
randomly picked your name out of a hat and you just rose to the top to this position? But what were you doing at the Republicans' office? Because if I'm not mistaken, the Supreme Court, you're not supposed to be there. What were you doing there? You got caught. Y'all are getting caught on camera. Y'all are getting caught and committing the crimes in front of our faces in real time. They are bold and they're doing it right in front of our faces and they do not care. And like Deshaun
because
said,
yeah,
it's about the money. The
yeah,
billionaires and millionaires and trillionaires will flourish, but the working class, as what is it, Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake. And with Donald Trump, that's the case right here. We're getting crumbs. We're getting shit. Like I said, Social Security benefits will be cut by 25% as a result of Donald Trump's big, ugly bill. Healthcare,
yeah.
your healthcare premiums are going to skyrocket. Housing affordability is now 50% where it should be 30%. Who wants to do that for 50?
Yeah, and people are just starting to live in hotels now. People are taking their families and going to live in hotels and just paying one fee, no electricity, no water. And it's sad that you can't even afford a home nowadays because everything is skyrocketing. And Trump said about a month ago, I think, I don't want to bring down the price of housing because I want people houses to stay up there high. This is what he said. And this is what we're dealing with, y'all. We're dealing with Republicans and Trump who do not care about nothing but power. It's about the money. Just follow the money. And then you can follow the policies because there is nothing coming for the average Americans. That's gone. The big beautiful bill doesn't do that. Don't know. And then that's the only thing they passed in a year and a half was the big beautiful bill. That's the only thing. They haven't passed anything else to help bring down these prices. And people gonna still be like, yeah, I want some more of this. And they're gonna go vote for Republicans in November. Even though I feel that we're gonna win the House. Hopefully we can win the Senate and get some kind of control back into the and give it back to the American people.
Absolutely. And Supreme Court reform. There should be term limits because Clarence Thomas, John Roberts,
Uh,
Alito, they have been there for a very long time. Amy Coney Barrett, now y'all are talking about y'all's livelihood. Y'all need protection. Y'all need more money for security. I wonder why.
because they stripping us of all of everything that we work for. The Civil Rights Act is gone. Now Todd Blanche for to put a mandatory abortion ban across the United States. He just said that the other day. They
Got caught on
taking
the hot
away,
mic.
yeah, got high mic. They finna take away everything that we fought for so they can make sure we don't have. They want us to have peanuts and beg these rich people to please help us when we have good policies on the Democratic side. We ain't perfect, y'all. We ain't perfect. But the Democratic Party is the only party right now that's really fighting for the American people. They hate Mandani because he's doing something for his people. They hate that a Muslim is actually outshining Christians on tapping their people and their constituents. That's why they use the word socialism. Socialism is bad. Social. They have an echo chamber. They're gonna push socialism for the next 2.5 months. You're gonna hear that word at least 1 million times before the midterms come. They socialisms. Why?
Because socialism is what, as Native said in the comments yesterday, Aquino, socialism is for the people. So people like what Mandani is doing in New York, where Marcos Luis, my guest that I had on yesterday in the show, what he's doing with New York, the rent freeze to help people out, affordability, daycare for your children to go to daycare. They don't want that. They don't want affordability. Republicans, they don't. They want to
Yeah.
make things more expensive. And people are literally having to sacrifice putting food on their tables, getting their medications, keeping lights on in their home because guys,
Hmm.
got this house here. My house burned down when
Hmm.
me and Boosie had something scheduled, and I just got my new home, and I've already got settled in and everything. I know by the end of this month I'm gonna have to pay my electric bill. So
Yes.
everybody is trying to find a way to survive. It's about survival, but Republicans are not interested in that. They are in their own self grievances, which is why they are weaponizing socialism, saying that, oh, Zoran communist. Who, what was his name? Rep Andy Fine, who got
Yeah,
out here and
Andy.
saying he's going to
Fine.
support Zoran. We're going to do this. We're going to make sure that he shows us. I mean, all of this is who they are. It's
Yeah.
always been that way.
And tell me, how's it a bad thing that you create a grocery store that give the people of New York 30% off? 30, you know what 30% off during this time is? That's three, that's $3 out of $10. You're saving $3 off each $10. But they saying that's a bad thing. Oh, this he's just gonna give everything away. Free lunches to kids is a bad thing. We talk about free lunches is now a bad thing. They want us to give all the money to the rich, and like they say, hope it trickle down to us. It
Trickle
never
down effect,
have.
very much.
It never have. It never will, and it never have, and it never will. So we got to get power. Well, we elect representatives. We're gonna go to Washington and we need to have concrete plans to help the American people, like myself, like my neighbor, like the neighbors down the street who don't have nothing. But as long as they're in charge, it's gonna always be about the rich and the powerful. And it's just sad right now. We're in 2026 going through this, going through racism, going through all this. It's just, how long do we have to do this? How long is it gonna go in America? Another 100 years? Is this gonna be another 100 years of this? And I always tell my friends, Martin Luther King had a dream. Now, one black person or a group of black people have the blueprint. We need the blueprint right now.
And not just that, but Deshaun made an excellent point. Yes, they did gut Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, Deshaun. That is correct. And as far as slavery, them bringing back slavery, that's not going to happen because we're not
Oh,
going back to
oh
that.
no,
As
no.
Black people, that's not going to happen. You're working with a whole new generation.
Yeah,
And if you think that you're going to turn back the clock and send Black people back to the fields because they love to tell us to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps or to go back to the fields or go back to Africa, if you're thinking that we're going to do those things, that's not going to happen. But see, Deshaun gets under my skin when he says this, Boosie. He'll say, what about a simulation? I'm like, I'm not assimilating to a goddamn thing. I am a proud, black, liberated woman. and I'm
Yes.
not going to assimilate to white supremacy. I'm not going to sell my people out. I just can't do that. I'll let Candace Owens, Byron Donalds, and Officer Tatum, who's fucking up this Nolan Wells case, I'll let them do that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He really messing up. You know, last year, around last March, I got a message from I guess it was a Republican contributor. They wanted to pay just to talk good about them. They say I will pay you all the money you want as long as you talk good about them. They wanted me to abandon everything I was everything that I stand for, everything that I talk about, just to talk good about them. So this is on TikTok. I'm not really on TikTok no more. All my followers over there, I got 300,000 plus over there, but I'm not on that app that much no more because it has changed dramatically since the rich white people have taken over TikTok. See so much mega content on TikTok nowadays, and they wanted me to say something good. They wanted me to talk good about the person who I did not like the most. And I know how these black Trump supporters get their money. You just say what they want them to say, and they will pay them, and they will make them look like leaders. You know what I'm saying? So I'm confused, but I do understand that some people don't, some black people don't even care about other black people. They care about the money and what they can do.
Signed Board of Peace. Do y'all remember Donald Trump said the Board of Peace? He called himself the peace president. This doesn't look like peace to me because from what I'm seeing, you're causing more chaos in Iran. You not only threatened mass civilization once, you did it twice. You got on Truth Social and you tweeted. And we don't find out about it until the next morning when Aaron Parnas goes out
Yep,
here and lets us know exactly what you've done, what you've said. If not that,
yep,
Adam Mockler,
yep. I follow those
Harry
two. Uh,
Sessions,
Yeah,
all of them
yeah,
let us know what you're doing on True Social. 3 and 4 in the morning. I'm like, what is he doing up tweeting, threatening Iran? And they're just letting it roll off of their backs like water. They don't care because to them, you're a joke. We are now the laughing stock here. Whereas the
yes,
world should, United States should be leading world center stage, right there front and center. We are now the laughing stock. Whereas China, Canada, all these other countries are flourishing and growing, we here in the United States, we're tanking because as a result of every single thing that this man is doing.
yeah. Everything Trump touches, as they say, everything Trump touches dies. And that's no lie. Everything he put his hands on, it dies. Everybody who he support, Trump will kick out you. If you're not loyal to Trump, he will get rid of you in a heartbeat. I don't see how these people don't see phoniness in this man. But like you say, Trump is the puppet. The other people are really running the show. The ones up top, they running the show. They not being seen. Trump is the puppet of all this. And he finna get busy, y'all. Because the pressure, them Epstein files, I hope them Epstein files come out. Because I believe it's just what I believe. I believe he all through them files. I believe it. Because he's a creep. He's a creep. He's a creep. And I know Trump is in those Epstein files. I want to see the pictures. Show me the video. You got the guy Wolf. The guy Wolf, he say that he seen pictures of Donald Trump with little girls in Epstein house. Show me the pictures. Show me the video. Stop all this nonsense that they doing. Oh, there's no more files and everything is blacked out to protect these people. Show
Heavily
us,
redacted.
yeah, heavily redacted. Show us the information because the American people deserve to know the truth. The victims deserve to have their justice, but they'll never see the light of day. I don't think they'll ever see the light of day.
And with Todd Blanche saying openly saying, hey, we're going to shield Donald Trump from any sort of prosecution. We might not ever get to see them. if he's in charge of it because he's going to protect Donald Trump by default. And even if you are loyal to him, they still don't care. Pam Bondi was loyal to him and he fired her.
Yep.
Tulsi Gabbard was loyal to him, fired her. Christy Nome was
Yeah.
loyal to him. She was there in the press conferences and everything. Fired
Hmm.
her. She was let go.
And you notice they're all women? All women. He let go women so fast in his administration. But the men, they get a pass here and there. But all three women in his administration is now gone. He don't have no black people in his administration at all. No blacks. I don't think no Latino. Maybe one. Maybe one because Tim Scott didn't get no job in his administration. He didn't get Tim Scott a job. Can you believe Tim Scott did not get a job in Donald Trump administration? And
And I
he
love
went,
this guy. Right. Like
yeah, you know what
you
I'm
got out
saying?
here, you shucked and jive, and he still didn't even give you a position in the cabinet. And it is
No.
one black person in the cabinet. It's a gentleman who's over housing development. I can't remember his name, but he was there, and what's her name? Priya Japal was grilling
Yeah,
him
yeah,
about,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
what are you going to do for housing affordability or
Yeah,
urban
I
housing
saw that.
development?
I saw that. I forgot his name. I saw that. He didn't have no answers. He didn't have no answers. None of them have no answers. None of them have no answers at these meetings. They have no answers to no questions. All they do is they get angry and they fire back at people asking questions. And they get loud because they only auditioning for one person and one person only. And that's their leader, Donald Trump.
And that's where their loyalty lies. And Deshaun, you've mentioned Marjorie Taylor Greene. The reason why you're seeing her shift and pivot and change her, oh, we got to get the Epstein files released, we got to do all of this. Marjorie Taylor Greene is, I'm a woman. And so, women, when we're scorned, when we've been done wrong, our hearts have been broken, we tend to go crazy. We lash out. With me, I take mine and I channel it into something else. I write. And I use this example to say this. Marjorie Taylor is a woman scorned. Donald
Yeah,
Trump didn't pick her for whatever position she was running for. Therefore, she jumped right on board with Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie was the bravest one out of the Republicans to say, hey, I'm signing on to get these files released. We're going to do this. And what happened? Donald Trump made sure he wasn't elected because if he was elected, that would have been the end right there. Marjorie Taylor Greene was right there with Lauren Boebert and Thomas Massie, and they were trying to get the files released. And now you
yeah,
see Marjorie Taylor Greene change her tune completely. And I can't believe that I'm agreeing with her on some of the things like they're mediocre men. Yes, they are. But you are
yes,
also a mediocre white woman. You're a woman with privilege, whereas me being a black woman, I get racially profiled. Sexism is still alive and living here in the United
yes, it
States
is.
of America. So the things
Yes, it is.
that you're privy to, I wouldn't be privy to. You have the complexion for protection. And Officer Tatum, you're going to also have your day as well too. You're going to have your day as well too because Nolan Wells' family is grieving. These are two parents who are grieving the loss of their son. But you're the same individual that said when Charlie Kirk died, if you'd cry for Charlie Kirk, but you wouldn't cry for your son or your daughter if they died. And that's pretty messed up. That lets us know everything we need to know about you, that you are not for your people. And in fact, you won't even identify as black. When the whole conversation with him and Gary Chambers on Stephen A. Smith's platform went on, Gary Chambers Jr. just gave him a look like this, like, dude, what you think? They're just gonna welcome you as if you're one of them? No, they
Right.
see you and they already see black men as a threat in this country.
Yeah, 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 and he don't care because like other day I was listening to him. He like, well, I ain't gonna say Michelle Obama ain't a man. I know she ain't a man, but she not as fine as my wife. This is what he said, Officer Tatum, out his mouth a couple weeks ago. I was so upset that I was about to just, I was finna lose my account because I was finna go into Boosie Signs of Time 500. I just held back and I let the community attack him for that. But you know Michelle Obama is very beautiful. You know that.
She's
But to say
very
that,
beautiful,
yeah,
and you know what that is. Let me educate people on what that is. When they're saying, even at the White House, this fool that got up here spitting up Gerber baby food on himself, got his fat ass on the scale, sitting up here calling Michelle Obama a man. That is misogynoir
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Michelle
yeah,
Obama doesn't look like the average first lady. Whereas you would see one of my favorites is Jackie O. I love Jackie Kennedy
yeah,
Onassis. I
yeah.
love
Jackie
Lady
Kennedy.
Bird. I love them all. Dr. Jill
Hmm.
Biden, I love them all. But
Yeah,
Michelle Obama, it's something different about her. She's exotic. I'm exotic looking. That's what
hmm.
makes black women so unique is that we don't look all the same because her
Yes.
features are different. It's colorism and it's misogyny and it's sexism. She's
Yeah,
dark, she's chocolate, she's brown skin. And not just
yeah,
that, but
yeah.
she's athletic built and she's curvaceous. She's not
Yes.
like the other first ladies.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
what
You're right.
makes her a man to the Josh Hokett, that's his name. The
Yeah,
drunkard that got his ass up during the UFC fight. Drunk, keep in
yeah,
mind, throwing up on himself. He threw up on himself.
yeah.
And you got up and you had the audacity to say Michelle Obama as a man. She is not a man.
At
That's
all, at all,
transphobia,
at all.
is colorism, is sexism, and all of that can be dangerous to black women in this country when we are also under attack. Because I see the videos of
Yeah,
Donald Trump supporters walking up to black women. And men like Boosie over here, I know in a situation, if I was getting attacked, he would probably defend me, or Deshaun or my other colleagues, Bubs the
yeah,
God. But we are now in a day and age where women are being violently attacked by these Trump supporters. And we're seeing
yes.
videos of them, these white men get in the car and they're hurling the N word at black people. This is not the 1950s.
At all. And we not going. I'm not going. I'm not going for that mess. I'm not going for this racism in my face mess. I'm a kind-hearted person. I love everybody, but you not finna come in my face and just call me out my name, disrespect me. I'm not gonna let that happen. That's them days are gone. And if they think they gonna put black folks back in slavery, do you know what these YNs gonna do? These YNs ain't going for none of that stuff. I know that. I deal with these YNs. They ain't going for none of that stuff. You gotta leave them alone, cause they a whole nother different ball. Stick with me, cause if you get to them and get them, game, it is ball game. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we got to have our kids focus on the future, becoming leaders, not leaders on the block, not leaders on social media, leaders so we can put together policies for the future that help them, help their family, and help their grandchildren. So we have to start before it's too late. Or I think we're gonna be in the same position another 100 years of this white racist, white nationalist crowd that they trying to push on us, and they still pushing it on us.
Under the guise of MAGA, under the guise of making America great again. It's not making America great. America has never been great for 250 years. Who has it been great for? It's been great for white people, the colonizers, the people who stolen land, as Boosie said earlier, the people who came over here. Have you ever had your home redlined? Do you know what that is? Do you know what that does? Have you ever been basically because of the way your name sounds, if it even sounds black, you're not going to get that job position. Have you ever had those type of things happen to you?
Yeah. I last week I was walking down the street in my own community. Swear to God, a truck comes over like they getting over to get on the right lane. Somebody threw a water bottle out of the truck at my face. I swear to God, at my face, and then all I heard was the N word. I heard that strong. I'm like,
With the
ain't
ER?
this? I'm like, ain't this a bitch? They in my neighborhood coming down the block. They threw a water bottle. It wasn't all water, it was ice, like a whole ice water bottle at my face. In my neighborhood coming down the block. I'm like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And they must have saw me and felt I was the only one walking down the street. And if that water bottle would have hit me, I promise you. it probably would have knocked me out. And usually, when I walk through the neighborhoods, I usually have my concealed carry on me. I'm kind of glad that I didn't because I might have would have did something stupid because that's how I in my neighborhood they on calling me. I probably would have did something stupid because I played basketball. I dealt with racism from fans. We would go to these in the 90s, the late 90s, we go to these white towns and we deal with the hate. Come outside, our whole school bus is painted the N-word. I didn't dealt with it my whole life. I'm not dealing with that stuff no more. I'm not dealing with racism no more. And keep it on that side because I don't want to snap and I don't want to do nothing that'll land me somewhere that I don't want to be. But I just dealt with it last week, last Tuesday to be exact.
And they're emboldened, Deshaun. It's not that they're just doing it for validation and that they're weirdos. They are emboldened by Donald Trump. These are the type of people that he is allowed. It's okay to be racist. Remember in Charlottesville, what did they say? Marching down the streets. Jews will not replace us. What does that tell you how they
Yes,
feel? These are white supremacists walking down the streets with tiki torches. They're walking in the
yes,
streets and in the businesses. They're going into Home Depot. They are snatching up people, kidnapping people, disappearing people, assaulting people in the streets with their whole entire face covered. And the scary part is it could be your pediatrician, it could be your podiatrist, your dentist, your orthodontist, it can be your doctor, it can be any of these people. We don't know who they are, but they are masked up and they are walking around with these flags that have swastikas on us, letting us know exactly who they are. They're showing up on boats. They show up with their trucks and they have a bunch of flags on their trucks that have swastikas on them, their
yes,
faces covered. What we're dealing with is white Christian nationalism. And as Deshaun said earlier, Manifest Destiny, the 16th Mountain Mandates, which Politics by Tabitha and myself, we have both talked about on our channels. That is something that I think a lot of people need to do research on because that is happening. This is not just the golden age.
yeah,
This is
yeah,
that as well
yeah.
too.
And also what's scary with that situation too, a lot of them are police officers. A lot of them are the ones who get behind you and pull you over. A lot of them are the ones who say, "I felt, I felt for my
Felt
life. I feared
threatened
for
for
my
my
life."
life.
Yeah, yeah, those are the ones that got the mask on that we don't see. That's get behind you and say, "I thought he had a gun, and I feared for my life," and they'll pull that trigger because they know they getting immunity from Donald Trump. He already said it. "I'm gonna give you immunity to all the cops." Imagine that immunity for shooting an unarmed black kid or a brown kid. You can get off. So that's the scary part. They're police officers also.
ICE can literally go out here and take your life, and there will be no accountability whatsoever. Uh, the ICE agents, what they get is they get taken into secrecy, hidden into secrecy, and escorted somewhere off because the threats on their lives and their family's life as a result of that. Not
Yeah.
just that, but they get to go back to work the next day.
Yes. Yes. Like nothing never happened. You know what I'm saying? They shield them. They go back to work. They collect their money for whatever they get paid, and they just integrate back into their community. But I think ICE shouldn't wear masks. I think ICE should identify themselves to everybody. You know what I'm saying? If this person see, they think that the Democratic Party just want these illegal immigrants over here. We want a process. We want the bad ones out. Trust me, yeah, you do something bad, no matter the color of your skin, you should be charged and give the fair trial. But ISIS is out here just terrorizing people. I mean, literally terrorizing kids. Kids. And they have the ability. Ain't nothing gonna happen to them. See what happened 2 weeks ago in Maine. They just unalived the guy and they get the wrong person. They killed the wrong person. And nothing is gonna happen to those eight. And that's Susan Collins' death wish right there. She could lose just because of that right there.
Guess what? Donald Trump wants to actually pass a law and write and strike the Resurrection Act law that you can't protest, police immunity. So they're basically doing what they want to do right now. People are dying at Delaney Hall. People are dying at Delaney Hall. You have
Yeah,
ICE agents mowing people down because people are literally protesting and holding on to the front of the cars to stop them from snatching people up, kidnapping them, and disappearing them. They are putting their bodies on the line, and ICE is out here hurting people. They're macing people. They're throwing gas into the crowd. They're doing all of these things. The 21-year-old
they
year
do
old
it.
Mexican boy and the Hispanic gentleman. Yes, do not forget Amber, Renee Nicole
Yeah,
Good.
yeah,
Renee Nicole Good, Alex Peretti, Keith Porter, and there's
yeah.
so many others as well too. Again, keep in mind, 46,000 people were arrested by ICE then this year in July.
That's a lot of people. And I bet you 45,000 of them was legal citizens who ain't got no criminal record. I bet you they don't got no criminal record. But these mega people, they want these illegal immigrants out of the country
I just
so
want them
bad.
here legally. You know, trust me, bro.
Yeah,
That's what they
yeah,
love to say to Trump supporters. Trust me, bro. I just want them here legally. These are the same
yeah,
goddamn people that are out here doing the jobs that your son dodging ass will not do.
yeah, yeah. And they not working on them farms. Black folks ain't working on no farm. You think black folks finna work on a farm? The white kids ain't gonna work on the farm. Who's gonna do their job? Who's gonna
Y'all
do
gonna have
their
to get
job?
out there and do it. And for little to
Yeah.
nothing, y'all are paying them little to nothing, $11 an hour to sit out there in the
Ow.
scorching hot sun and pick fruits and potatoes. Let's see y'all do it without sunscreen and see how that works out for you.
It'll last like dude said, it'll last 30 minutes. They'll be out there in 30 minutes. And I just we at a place now. We at a place now to be honest with you. We're at a place now. If it don't change no time soon, the same thing is just gonna keep happening. They're gonna keep voting for the same candidates. They're gonna keep asking for the same policies. We need to get progressives in there who's gonna help the American people. That's all I mean. Just vote for somebody who's gonna help you and your family, and then maybe we can do something different. But stop voting for the same thing and expecting something different.
Just like in Texas, y'all keep electing Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz left y'all's asses stranded. Where was it? Cancun? Went to
Cancun,
Cancun,
Cancun, Cancun.
left y'all stranded during a storm.
Yeah, yeah. Ken Paxton. Ken Paxton is the worst candidate that I have seen. A bag of bad stuff. And he's gonna lose to James Tallarico. He's gonna lose. James Tallarico is gonna be the first person since 1988 to be a Democratic senator in Texas because Ken Paxton is that bad. He is really bad. And
And if he
Donald
gets,
Trump,
yeah,
yeah,
Donald
Donald
Trump
Trump
endorsed
endorsed him. He endorsed him. He endorsed him over Cornyn, who was gonna win. He's gonna beat James Tallarico because he's more a moderate for people. Ken Paxton, I appreciate him giving us this. I'm calling. I've been doing this a long time. Texas turned blue. Texas turned blue, and Alaska. Those two right there will have two Democratic senators in the midterm. That's what I really believe that's gonna happen, y'all. Texas turning blue this year, y'all. Texas is turning blue this year.
And Deshaun, you mentioned human trafficking. Yes, the Epstein files, the Andrew Tate, all of them, they're into that. I mean, his whole cabinet, a cabinet full of criminals, a cabinet full of mediocre white men. So when you talk about human trafficking in those Epstein files, his wife Melania, you saw what she did. Melania got out here and she did her press conference. He had no clue. He was out of the country. And she did a press conference. She said, let me go on ahead and get in front of the train before it runs completely off of the tracks, but it's running off of the tracks whether you try to disguise it Any way you put it, is still going to run off of the tracks. He's in the Epstein files, and there's a photo of you pictured with Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein and your husband as well too. That is not going to go away. You are complicit.
Yeah, yeah. She was there from the beginning. She knows everything. And Trump done been to that island. She knows where the recruitment happened at. Mar-a-Lago at the spot. They know where all the recruitment and everything was happening with the Epstein files. But it ain't even just Trump. It's all the rich white people. Do you know they trying to lock up a Olympian for touching the reflecting pool? Lock him up for
10
10 years.
years. Y'all want to lock up
But let
people
the
for 10
people in it,
years.
but let the people in the Epstein files just go freely who did bad things to children. They don't want to touch them. I just, I just don't get it, but I do get it because everything is about power, money, and power. That's all the Republican Party care about. They do not care about the American people. They have no policies for the American people. So they're gonna keep propaganda and brainwashing their voters to keep voting for them, while they voters ain't gonna have nothing. And that's why we need to get these people out and get people in place who's gonna help people like us. That's all I talk to my followers about. It's that. Get out and vote. Vote for something. Just don't vote. Vote for something. Tell your neighbors. Get out and vote.
Yes, make sure you're registered as well too. Go to vote.org, check your registration because remember, I said this yesterday on the show. They purged voters off of the rolls in 2024. So check
Yeah.
your registration. They're going through any and every last thing. See, and also the Red Scare, Robert Reich, REICH, talked about the Red Scare. He did a video about it where Republicans will weaponize people's fear of people from other countries. That means Muslim people, that means immigrants, that means whomever, trans people. They will weaponize that and target people and put them in danger so that they can win a
Yeah.
vote. That's the Red Scare. So in this case, it's the immigrants and it's trans people that they've done. They're the reasons why they're doing this. No, follow me, trust me. I know because MAGA supporters love to say, trust me, bro. Just trust me, bro. That's your
Yeah. Yeah.
source
Yeah. 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 Trust me, and do a little research. These are people who don't do a little. They don't do no research,
at all.
but they tell me to go do research. They tell me to go do research, and they don't even do research at all. So it's important. Like in September, I'm gonna push this initiative where I'm gonna talk to my followers about get one person who not registered. Get them registered. If you get one, if you get one, if you get one, if you get one, just one person. Get one person registered to vote. Just give me that. That's what I tell my followers. Give me one person, a niece who ain't never voted, a nephew who's 21, 22, a cousin who's 23. Just get one of them registered to vote. And if everybody get one, it'd be over two, 300,000 new registered voters that be able to vote in the midterm.
Absolutely. And again, do not let them intimidate you because they're going to go through every tactic. Like Steve Bannon said, they're talking about placing ICE agents at the polls. Do not let them stay in line. Do not let them put fear into you. Don't let
Right,
them. Don't let them
right.
intimidate you. And another thing, ballot boxes were set on fire. So I wouldn't be surprised if Republicans go to any and every extent to remain in power. And we have to stop it before it's too late. I
I
have
agree.
optimism that we can change this, but to
Yeah.
white people overwhelmingly who voted for him, 77 million of y'all voted for him,
Yes.
overwhelmingly.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
includes white women mostly as well. You voted the
Yeah.
same way your husband voted. Let
Yep.
this be a
Yep. Yep.
lesson to you that everything that you think is that, and I have an analogy that goes like this: a rose covered in shit will always smell like shit. So you
I
can give
like
me a
that.
rose and say, hey, it's the most beautiful rose ever. It smells like shit because it's covered in shit. So
Yes, it
to
is. Yes, it
anybody
is.
out here who thinks that this was the greatest, that he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, since sliced cheese. Hell, you can't even afford that now in the grocery store. That's high too.
Yes, it is. Can't afford nothing no more. I mean, you can't afford nothing no more. Everything is high right now. Everything is high, skyrocket. They still blaming Joe Biden. Joe Biden's fault. It's Joe Biden. They've been in office 19 months. They still blaming Joe Biden, and you can't afford nothing. And it's gonna get to a point where people are gonna have to survive. And you know what survival mode means when you don't have nothing. You will do anything to survive. So they better be careful. They trying to pump these prices up. 'Cause I know a lot of people, boy, they'll come in your store in a minute and take everything out there. Especially when they trying to eat and survive. So they have to
And
be
they don't
careful.
care. They
They
don't
don't care at
care.
all. They don't care at all. So
Especially like Boosie just said, these the young generation, they got nothing to lose. They got nothing but time. Yes, Slick, exactly. That's where they want us. They want us vulnerable, which is why our food, some of our foods are unsafe to eat. And it is survival mode. Being black in America, if you are a person or persons of color in America, you have to be on survival mode because, if I'm not mistaken, they're now wanting Haitian Americans to wear these ankle monitors.
ankle monitors, I saw that. That's crazy. That's crazy. In Springfield, but did you see all the white people who was like literally like behind the Haitians though? Like it made me feel good because the white folks were lined up all the way around the block with signs saying, "These are our people too. Don't do this to our people." They want them to wear ankle monitor bracelets like they're crooks, like they committed a crime. They haven't done anything, but it's all a propaganda smear campaign. It's about hate. I told you at the beginning, they running on hate in the midterm. They gonna run on hate, and it ain't gonna help. Ain't nothing gonna change. It's already set in stone. They're gonna take it. They're gonna get their ass kicked in the midterm. It's gonna be a bloodbath because they have nothing to offer the American people.
So, y'all, you know what you have to do. Check your registration, go to vote.org, make sure you are set, and make sure also, as Boosie just said, the key word right there, propaganda. You've got Fox News, he's got Newsmax, he's got News Nation, all of these networks, and even CBS, ABC, Barry Wisner, 60 Minutes. Because, see, they let go of Terry Moran. They're firing
Yeah,
notable journalists. the,
yeah,
the shocker for me was when Joy Reid lost her show on
yeah.
MSNBC.
Yeah. I
This
watch
is
Joy
just,
Reid every day. I used to watch Joy Reid every day, every night. When they found her, I was hurt. But I knew that they, what I'm saying, oh, I just, but look, but we are creating independent platforms now. They can't
yes.
take, they can't take nothing from us no more. We are building some, and I'm gonna be going live like in October, closer to the midterms. I'm gonna have Joy Reid on. I'm gonna see if you'll come on as a guest. Coach D. I follow Willie D. Him, man, Willie D is pretty cool. We got to keep our voices out there because their echo chamber is way bigger. They can spread it in minutes. You know what I'm saying? A lot in minutes, and it'll reach their people. So
And
we
we
just
are
got to
the
keep
only
doing.
reasonable voices, or we are the only voices out here that are standing up for that. And on the five on Fox News, the only one that's pushing back and saying that's not true, fact checking, doing
Jessica
what a
Tyler.
journalist should do, Jessica Tarlov. Shout
Jessica
outs to
Tyler.
her.
I love her. I love her because she the only one. You used to have what's the guy name? He used to be he a Democrat. He be on there. The light skinned cat be on there, but he can't. He don't go like. I got his name, but he be on. I be watching him like, say something, man. Come on, man, say something, man. What's his name? I forgot his name. But I be watching him. He got the little light skinned light. Got the little low haircut. He be on Fox News and they be just disrespected. He be with Jesse Waters all the time. When Jesse Waters be on the time, and Jesse
And
Waters
he
be
is a
still be dis.
misogynist. Jesse Waters is a misogynist and truly hates women because
Oh yeah,
I mean, you're cracking jokes about someone's traumatizing experience and saying this. And I just don't understand how him and Greg Gutfield and Sean Hannity, all of them, they have shows. I just don't get
Yeah.
it.
I mean, because they speaking what the base want to hear, that hating racism. Hate and race. That's all they care about is hate and race. They don't care about none but hate and racism. And that's their driving point. To get as many of their base to hate as many of us as they can, to fire them up to vote. That's all they care. That's all they care. No policies at all. I'm not gonna bring your groceries down. No, no. I'm not gonna bring gas down. No, no. I'm not gonna put extra money in your pocket. No, no. But I need, and that's what we're gonna hear about, y'all. Socialism and hate the next what 96 days.
Look at that. So we got work to do, y'all. Prepare because August, September, October, November, November 3rd is what Republicans fear the most, which is why you see them scrambling. Even with the BBC whole situation, Donald Trump is now trying to, oh, let me hurry up and let me get ahead of that. Aaron Parnas just reported about it. Let me go on ahead and try to hurry up and scrub that, make it go away. No, you have to release that information to them.
Yeah. Got to. Got to. Yeah, he got to. He filed. He filed $10 billion. He wanted $10 billion from them. And every time he sues somebody, he always pull the lawsuit when it's time to open up the books. Like CBS, they gave him 15 million, and NBC gave him 4 million, just to get him off just get him off my back. But BBC, like, come on, man, we gonna see did I cause $10 billion worth of damage? Open up them books so we can see the fraud that you're doing. So it's important, y'all. Please get out, y'all. Please get registered. Please get out and vote. Because if the Republicans contain the House and contain the Senate, it's just gonna be the same mess we're in today. Nothing's gonna change. Things gonna definitely get more worse.
We don't need that. Because they are trying to grasp onto power by any means necessary. They will burn it down right
Yeah,
along as Donald Trump
yeah,
tells them to, because they are terrified of this.
yes they are.
And
Yes
rightfully
they are.
so, because of how dangerous he is. He's a
Yeah,
megalomaniac. He is an agent of chaos.
yeah, yes he is. Yes he is. He have no great ideals. He only know what Donald Trump knows. That's I want your money. I'm gonna talk crazy about you. I'm gonna lie down. If you loyal to me, I loyal to me. I will get rid in a minute. That's his motto. That's his motto. But people still suck up to him, and I just don't understand why, y'all. So please, 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 for the sake, let's do what we can as a whole, and just keep giving the word to our people to let them know what's going on. Because a lot of my followers, they don't watch politics a lot. They listen to me, so it's my job to give them the facts of what's going on with the American society at this time. So please get out and vote, get registered, and let's do this in November, and let's do it all together.
It's all about power and control. Yeah, and that's what they're by any means necessary. They are grasping for
Yeah,
straws,
yeah,
which is why you
yeah,
see them dismantling the international courts. Because Zoran said, I'm going to do what I was elected to do. And if that means arresting Bibi Netanyahu because he's a war criminal, he's going
mhm,
to do that. Donald Trump has went and tampered with the international circuit courts and say, we're going to go on ahead and we're going to dismantle that. We're going to
right.
fire the three federal election commissioners who are supposed to oversee where campaign funds are supposed to be going. He fired them. And what do you think he's going to do next? He's going to replace them with three people who are loyal to him. And I wouldn't be surprised if it is someone who is an insurrectionist, because Keg's breath already put someone that was behind January 6th in a position in the military as well too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Everybody's gonna be loyalty, especially when you get ready to leave, you're gonna have all these people in place. There ain't gonna be no more Mike Pence. They gone. The Mike Pences are gone. It's all loyal supporters, and he will turn on them in a minute. He just turned on Janine Pirro for not being able to keep time.
Miss
She
Boxline,
had to tell the
yep.
truth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The drunk out of the drunk lady. So he mad at her because she couldn't go to the courthouse and keep lying. You lied enough. You lied enough up to the point where she couldn't keep lying no more. She had to produce some evidence, and they had none. But he is pissed off at her because she couldn't keep lying. That's Donald Trump for you right there.
To keep it moving, they have to control the media. Yeah, that's called suppression, suppressing the media or quelling dissent. If you watch Daniel Mooney, and what that means is you're going to see state-ran media. They already have on the whitehouse.gov page a place where they target. They've put journalists that don't agree with what they're saying, fact checked anything. What they
Hmm.
did was they put it on the whitehouse.gov. Anybody, and then they gave them nicknames. I'm like, the whitehouse.gov website should not be used for this to target journalists.
At all, at all. It should be for to get American people the facts, right? Of what's going on, but they don't give facts. They give alternative facts. So I don't even go on
Only
the
man.
I don't go on that website at all. I don't trust nothing these people say. I hate to say it. I don't trust nothing that
Don't.
these people say. So I don't go on the website. I don't go to True Social. I get Trump tweets text to me. Send me the tweets that I think I should respond to. I'm not gonna be on True Social. Fuck. He posted over the weekend, last weekend, 104 times. He posted, it's the president, just posted nonsense after nonsense after nonsense. And it ain't gonna never end, man. He's 78, 79 years old, and no more. I am exhausted covering this
Black
dude. I'm
fatigue is
exhausted.
real. Black fatigue is
Yeah,
real.
it's real.
Black people, we are tired. Racism takes
Yeah.
a toll on your mental health.
Mhm.
And whenever you're trying to go for a job position or something, all you have to worry about is being racially profiled, discriminated against. That's enough. It's the weight of the world is on our back as black people in this country. And it's just like we have never had a moment to rest. But guess what? Rest is a form of resistance. Whereas during
Yes.
slavery, we had to work. Rest wasn't a luxury. We couldn't rest. We had to get up sun out, the sundown, our ancestors, and they had to go out there in those fields.
Yes, yes. And we can't rest now. This the time we definitely can't rest. We definitely can't sit out. We definitely cannot say nothing. We can't just let this continue to go on because now they're targeting the Latinos and the Mexicans. Now they targeting them, right? So now they seeing what we went through. They seeing what our ancestors went through and what we going through now. And I don't understand. How do you still support this guy when you getting treated the same exact way that we get treated? They don't care. As long as you're not white Christian nationalists that love Jesus, they could care less about you.
My
So,
God.
hey, so Steve, if my phone cut off, that means that my battery got low.
Oh,
So yeah,
we're
so
gonna
my
wrap
battery
it here. This was so
is getting low.
good.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate. I could talk to you for 6 hours straight. You know that.
So before we wrap Fashion Dolls, uh, Bootsy, what would you tell the followers, your supporters, and to I call them my fashion dolls. What would you tell
Mhm.
them on the importance of voting and making sure that your voice is heard this November?
You have to get out this year. And I think to all the 40 to 45% of black people who don't vote, I'm listening to y'all. Please get off the couch and
Do
come
not
vote.
vote the
Please,
couch.
because do not vote the couch because this is critical. We have to get control and check on this man power. Because Project 2025 is 80% done. They're in a final stages of taking the election from us, passing the SAVE Act. If that goes through, we might be out of power for years to come. So please get out, vote, tell your neighbors, get somebody signed up, and go to the polls so we can outvote them no matter what. It's too big to rig.
And I would tell y'all the same, stay vigilant. Make sure that you're registered to vote. Help people get registered to vote. Go out here. Also, find the correct polling locations as well too. Find out where you're supposed to go. Make sure if they pull any shenanigans, just in case, to be on the safe side. I take my ID, I take my voter registration, all of that. But sometimes they'll say, "Hey, you're already in the system. We got you. Boom, boom, boom. We'll let you in." And I know some of the ladies there. They're always happy to see me when I go to the polls because some of them watch the show. But
Uh-huh.
make sure that you take your information with you. Make sure that you have everything that you need. And do not let them turn you away. Do not let them intimidate you because a lot of people were turned away when the election with what was it, Tallarico and Crockett
Yeah.
at the polls were turned
Yeah. The
away.
prophet.
So
Yeah.
do not let them.
Yeah. Yeah. Please, do, y'all. And thank you so much for having me. I'm honored. I'm able to speak how I feel and I think what I know. I think what I know. And y'all follow me on YouTube, Boosie Sanders. I'm not on TikTok no more as much as I used to be. I don't like the app like I used to be, but follow me on TikTok as we grow this community all together, y'all. All of us together. And we could hopefully come to a solution where we can pick candidates that's gonna help us all as a whole.
Absolutely. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to Bootsy, and I'm gonna bring him back on the show. And you guys join me tomorrow at 4 with Jay Wrights. I'll see you guys then. Until next time. And this replay will be up. As always, make sure y'all go and check out Boosie's newest videos as well too on Black Trump supporters.
Yeah.
You need to understand because some of us have them in our families. I don't
Yes.
have it. Unfortunately, everybody voted for Kamala,
Yeah.
but
Mine's too. Mine's too.
some
Mine's too.
people have black Trump supporters in their families. You could learn
Yes.
something from this and how to deal with them accordingly because you're not dealing with the people that you once knew. You're dealing with a whole different person. They're, like Deshaun said, deeply indoctrinated. Donald Trump could piss on them and tell them that it is gold falling from the sky and they will wake up rich the next day. They will believe that.
Yeah, yes. So y'all, let's all do this together, and I will be back on the show, and I will have Jay on the show also on my podcast show as we get closer to the election, and we and why anything that ever happened to the American people. So thank y'all so much for listening, and thank you so much, Jay, for having me on your
You
show.
are so,
I've been looking forward to it.
and I'm looking
I had a
forward.
great time to it.
Definitely.
And we can always talk. We can always talk if you need anything to ask me. You got my number or you got my email address. Feel free to contact me with anything I help you with. Just let me know. Okay?
Definitely, and I look forward to it. All right, fashion
Okay?
dolls, y'all take care.
Peace out.